Things might roll a little. Who's that guy in the middle? Change your tone down and settle.
Alright, so now for the second rule that we're going to learn in this video, it's called the quotient rule. Quotient rule. Okay, so this one is a bit more complicated. So basically what we're going to have, so again, f and g are differentiable functions, so we're assuming f and g are differentiable functions, okay? And given this, we know that f over g, so the f function divided by the g function, so that the first derivative of that combined like quotient function is going to be, I'll just write it out first. It might look like a lot because it is a lot. So g of x times f prime of x minus f of x times g prime of x. Hold on, still got a little bit more. And then we have a g of x squared on the bottom. Okay, so a simpler way to write this without the x's is basically if you have u over v, okay? So this is the simple way. So u over v prime is equal to v times u prime minus u times v prime over v squared, okay? So still, this might look like a lot. It's like, okay, how, what? What's going on? So what I've learned, when I first learned this, my teacher showed me a trick and said the little rhyme, which I still use to this day: low, D, high, okay? And then less, high, D, low, with, low, squared, below, okay? So all you have to do is basically remember this little ditty here. So low basically means whatever is on the bottom of your original function, okay? Whatever function is on the bottom of your denominator there. So you take v, so this is low, and then times d high means d is like your derivative. So you do a d dx or d whatever. So basically the first derivative, so low function by itself, so that's v, d high. So the d high means the derivative of the top function, so that would be u, okay? So this means u prime. And then less, that's our minus sign here, which is very important, and that means that we cannot just arbitrarily switch the order of the top here. We can't do that because we have this minus sign. So less, high, and then we write the function, the original function on top, so that would be our u, times d low, so that's the derivative of the bottom one. So derivative of the bottom one there, and then with low, so our low function, so our bottom one, v, squared below. So it's squared there. Okay? So again, I'll rewrite this on the next slide in a clear fashion. Alright, so a way to write this is if you see a function, u over v, okay? If you see a function, an overall function that's composed of two different ones, like one on top and one on the bottom, basically anything that looks like a fraction, what you're going to do is when you take the derivative, you do low, so v, low, d high is u prime, derivative of the top function, less or minus high u times d low v prime, so whatever the derivative of whatever's on the bottom, with, that's our line here, low squared below. Okay, so that's how you construct the formula. It's kind of, at least it rhymes. I mean, well, low d high less high d low with low squared below. It just has a lot of O's in it, okay? So I'll admit that. But basically, this is how you use it, and we just plug things in. Kind of like the product rule, except for this is a bit more complicated. But it's okay, because we have that useful little rhyme there. Okay, so let's do an example of one of these. So what we're going to do is compute the derivative of, and I'll give you a function here. So we have an f of x is equal to x squared over a 1 plus 3x, okay? So let's identify what our function is. So this is like our u, the top one, okay? And this is like our v, okay? So this is the high function in our rhyme, and this is the low function. Okay, so let's compute it. So we have f prime of x is going to equal basically u over v prime, right? Because u over v is what f of x is. So if we take the prime, then that'll be low v times d high, low d high So v u prime less high u times v prime d low. Okay, so low d high less high d low with low squared below. Okay, so now let's replace these with actual function things. So this is going to be f prime of x is equal to v, so we're just going to write down whatever's on the bottom, 1 plus 3x, times the derivative of the top, so times the derivative of x squared, and then minus, we have that minus sign there, and then we're just going to rewrite u, which is the high or the top function, and then d low, so that'll be d dx of whatever's on the bottom. Okay? And then we can't forget our low squared below, so we just copy that down on the bottom and then put a squared outside of the quantity. Okay, so if we continue here, let's do so. So f prime of x is equal to 1 plus 3x, and then if we derive x squared, that's just going to be a 2x, and then we have minus an x squared, and then here if we derive that, we just get out a 3, okay? And then this is all over a 1 plus 3x squared, okay? So I'll continue simplifying on the next slide. Alright, so if we distribute the 2x in, what we're going to get on the next step is a 2x, because it was 1 times 2x, and then plus 3x times 2x is a 6x squared, and then minus a 3x squared, okay? And then on the bottom, again, we just keep that down here. Usually on the bottom, you can't really do anything with the quotient rule. Sometimes you can simplify further with the bottom, but usually not. We just leave it like that. Okay, so one last step. We're going to simplify all the way. So 3x squared, that's a positive 3x squared, plus 2x over our 1 plus 3x quantity squared. Okay? So that is the derivative, the first derivative of our given f of x, and we use the quotient rule. Alright, so that's it for our concepts video. I hope that helps, and good luck on the homework.
And as the sun comes up this morning, what have you gone and done?